I think a 10% position in Sarepta is okay. That's pretty aggressive, obviously. So, how do I look at a stock like this? Well, I don't look at the past, okay? We can't change the past. So, the only question we're asking, whether we're up big or down big in a stock, is what's the return going to be right now? So, if I buy a stock for 50 and it goes to 17, and I do the math and I feel like it's worth 17, you have to sell it right away and put the money into something more productive. But if you do the math and you think it's worth 50, you can stay in. If you do the math and it's worth 5, obviously you have to get out. And most people don't want to be wrong about a stock, right? Nobody likes to be wrong. Being wrong is one of the most punishing things in the world cognitively. And you have to train yourself to almost love being wrong, because you will be right, especially if you know what you're doing and you're smart. That's not the hard part. It's being wrong that's hard. And you have to try to associate being proven wrong on something with this good feeling, which is very hard. But if you ever had an argument with somebody, even about something stupid, a lot of people refuse to give up, right? They'll dig themselves into that argument over and over again just to make sure they're right. Like a good example was, and we have to add Keston's to our intro video. But basically, this is a guy who, when we got the press release, for the presentation for Immune in the middle of the night, and we shared it, Carl Kestens was like, "No, that's a deep fake." I think laughing like that makes you get a heart attack, so I'm not going to laugh like that. But the guy literally thought it was a deep fake. A deep fake? Man, it's a corporate presentation with 60 slides. You think we deep faked it? It's on Immune.com. It's not like... What the fuck? And it's done in the middle of the night. Why would someone do a deep fake? How the fuck? It's on Bloomberg. The guy's like, "Nah, it's a deep fake. Can't be real. My drug works. I don't know what that is. My drug works." So, being wrong about even a simple thing is really, really, really hard for everyone, including me and including you. And you just have to be better at it, and lose the humility, or gain some humility, lose the arrogance, and accept if you have. And this is why a lot of investors, especially new investors, lose all their money, is because they fixate on one stock. I mean, how many people have you met online or read about online that are just like, "Oh, I love GameStop," or "I love AMC," or whatever stock? Doesn't matter what stock it is. It could even be Palantir. And these people are just they're one-trick ponies. And the problem is the probability of you being right about everything is 0. It's 0%. You will not be right about everything. Doesn't matter who you are, what career you have, Warren Buffett, you will not be right about everything. And you just have to sort of come to terms with that. So if you're wrong about a stock, you have to get out. And that's it. And it's painful. But, you got to grow up. If you don't want to face facts, you'll be staring at a 0 in your stock account. And this is why you can't go all in on a stock practically ever. Because eventually you're going to be wrong. And your risk of ruin is 100% if you have a 100% position. Eventually the reaper, You might get a double out of Sarepta here, but what happens when the next Sarepta happens? Eventually, you will meet your maker. Eventually, the market will say, not this time, and take all your money. So yeah, I'm long Sarepta, but I'm not going to make it 80% of my portfolio because I might be wrong. It's okay. If I mean, every trader I know is wrong half the time. Half the time. So don't get upset about being wrong. In fact, you kind of want to find when you're wrong fast and just get out. The best traders I know do that. They just bounce. They say things like, stock's acting weird, I'm out. You know? Yeah, getting out too fast is also an issue, but we'll talk all about this. I mean, we talk about this every day, right? So let's. Allergies are getting me crazy. The CapEx, there's a one-time payment included in this 749, so you have to take out that 550, I think, or 400 or whatever they paid Arrowhead. Well, the EI comic, knowing when to break the rules is important. That's why I have ontheimpossible.com. But that's why Carl Kestens wrote On the Possible. Sorry, Carl, it wasn't possible. Sorry, buddy. You missed that one. In fact, I think Carl missed every single Alzheimer's bet he made. Nah, we'll be right in quantum, don't worry. But I'm willing to be proven wrong on quantum. If a real quantum computer comes out, I will probably get out of quantum. But the quantum trade is really good.